are going to stay focused on the topic of innovation with our next guest. She's been a founder, she's been a managing director, and she's now currently working in digital management at the consulting firm Knowit, and she's chair of the board for Alma Media. So please put your hands together for Catharina Stackelberg. All right, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. What about you?
Yeah, good. We're enjoying being here and seeing so many people, and we know we've got a lot of viewers on the live stream as well, so it's great to have so much interaction. Now, we've been talking about innovation so far this morning, and we're going to continue to do so. How do you define innovation?
You're putting me on the spot right away.
Yeah.
I think the innovation is really the ability to anticipate and identify the customer and the market needs, better than anybody else. And why is this important? It's important because we need to be able to develop solutions in every part of our value proposition, and and answer the question, what's in it for me, from a customer perspective, consistently and continuously. So being 2 steps ahead in terms of listening to what's going on and understanding where to drive the business.
Okay, and so Knowit, a digital consultancy, how are you different from other consultancies? What's your key approach?
We very much start from, the strategic level. So what is the strategic direction of any of our customers? And we work on that to be extremely clear on where the company is going and, what the company wants to become. And then after that, identifying what it really requires to get there. And in that sense, we can then provide, solutions in the area of growth or efficiency in any parts of the value creation model. So coming from a very strategic direction first, and then based on the strategy, we then continue with our customers all the way, being it, operational excellence, what do you do with sustainability, digitalization, marketing, sales, and so on.
And you work both business to business and with business to customer operations. What are the main differences in terms of your role and encouraging innovation in those different types of interactions?
And that's really a good question. I mean, the differences are very few. Which might sound quite surprising. If the company is truly customer or consumer-centric, it all starts in the same place. How can we add value to our customers and add such value that they don't even know that they need what we can provide them with, because we're always 2 steps ahead, anticipating where the market is going and where the customer needs may be. So in a very customer-centric setting, the similarities are much, much bigger than the differences.
Interesting, but the similarity being that they don't know what they need. Would you say that's one of the key challenges when it comes to trying to drive through innovation, that there is just a lack of awareness about what really needs to be done?
Yeah, that's one perspective to it. The other perspective is that we need to understand our customers' needs. So where is the end user going? How can we add value to the end use? And that's the kind of the part that really inspires innovation in any business context.
What are the other barriers or potential challenges?
In today's pretty rough economic environment, I would say that one barrier is that many companies are extremely cost efficient or focused on cost efficiency and cost saving. And don't get me wrong, it's really important to have a competitive cost structure. But if you forget about, inspiring the organization and the external world on where you're taking the company, you start losing focus on, driving growth in specific areas that will make you competitive as soon as the market starts to work again and you're ready to play when demand is there, or you're even able to create demand while the market is a bit tougher. So we need to be able to run on dual strategies and always keep a focus also on staying competitive in the future by adding value wherever it's possible.
But is there a way to innovate on a smaller budget?
Definitely. I mean, I think you can think about innovation actually in two different ways. One is breakthrough innovations, which means that you do drastically new things with existing assets or completely new assets. These are usually longer, in terms of time to money, but they can be extremely valuable once you get there. But the other part of innovation is what I would call renovation, which is doing drastically better things with existing assets. And that would then mean that you can do things on the short run that really impacts your business with a much smaller budget. And that way, continuously answer the question to your customers, what's in it for me? We're able to create superior value to our existing and new customers without investing huge amounts of resources. So in tough economic times, renovation might be, the fastest time to money.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some examples. Are there any companies you've worked with, you don't necessarily have to name names, but where they've held back and eventually they've kind of got on board with your ideas and it's had a real impact?
I have a very good example. I wouldn't say that Neste, which is a big listed company here in Helsinki, that they had any difficulties to innovate, but their new strategy to move beyond fossils to renewables really unlocked a lot of new thinking in terms of innovation, and they were able to create really great business in the area of aviation fuel, for example, where sustainability plays an immense role there. So the strategic direction actually moved them to build a new business alongside their business that they had at the time, which has been a great way to create lots of value to all stakeholders in the value chain. So that's one really good example. Another example that comes to my mind is Alma Media. We all know that some 15 years ago, the traditional media started to see massive decline. Alma at the time was a local print company. And at that time, there was really a need to think about the strategic direction of the company in a new way. And since 15 years ago, Alma has been on a very massive transformational journey from print to digital. And today, Alma is all about digital media, marketplaces, business information and services, and data. And out of all, the total revenues, around 80% is digital, and 50% of profits are coming from international markets. So I think Alma is an example of a very bold strategy forced by the decline of the legacy business, but at the same time a good example of how you run through a transformation of this magnitude during such a long period of time.
I mean, you're on the board for Alma Media now. We should be transparent about that. But I mean, where do you see the media industry going next then? There's still a lot of disruption happening now with AI, with voice tools.
Yeah, it's going to become much more advanced. It's going to be all about advanced platforms. Artificial intelligence will play a big role, not only in the customer interface, but also in the back end of the business. So I see this really as a big opportunity to really step change in the area of bringing new to the market and combining what we have already in a new way.
What kind of leadership is required, either from on a board or managing a company, to kind of drive through this very disruptive type of change?
I really believe that it all starts from a very clear, larger vision. Where do we want to take the company? And to be very articulate about that. But that's not enough. We need to also have clear milestones on, how to move towards the direction that we want to go. And in addition, we need to have a very, very flexible strategy or strategy process for the shorter term, as things are changing so quickly. So strategic flexibility is very, very important on the shorter term. And then, of course, to have clarified, what are the critical focus areas, must-wins, and then to delegate and empower the organization to act
What about local ecosystems and collaboration? I'm thinking the Nordics are well known for that, but this is a time where everyone's trying to get there first. Everyone's trying to sort of see ahead and have a crystal ball. How relevant do you think those systems still are or need to be?
They are extremely important for us in the Nordics. We are all small countries or small markets, and we've been used to collaborate from the get-go. Our culture is very inclusive, low hierarchies, and very straightforward. So we are brought up with a mindset and a culture of collaboration.
And you think that will continue?
I think that will continue, definitely, or even strengthen.
That's good to hear. I'm going to end with a bit more of a fun question for you. I've been asking ChatGPT for some of these fun questions, by the way. If you could innovate to create a dream gadget or technology to help businesses to innovate, what would it be and why?
No, I think the dream gadget for me personal would be to innovate something that would make me a better tennis player.
Okay. It's a good gadget, and we all know that spending some time doing physical exercise and having a break from work is also good to help you become a leader and have a bit of balance in your life. Yeah, all right. And what are you looking forward to from the rest of the conference, Catharina?
It's going to be great to listen to all these great speakers. So I'm going to be here and learn new things. I think we all need to stay curious and be ready to run faster than anybody else.
Indeed. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here, Catharina Stackelberg.
Thank you.